When I was in my early 20s, I'd go to the SRF Fellowship Church on Hollywood, on La Brea Avenue. I'd go to their meditation. I'd get out of the meditation, and then it reminds me of some of the YouTubers, the non-duals actually. I'd walk out. I walk out with my eye, like bright eyes. See, I want people to recognize I'm spiritual. But you couldn't have told me that back then. I'd have denied it. No, I just, I had a really good meditation, But I wanted people to see that. I wanted them to recognize that. It's funny how that's changed over the years. If I'm in any kind of elated state now, I actually try to walk on, if I'm outside, I'll take the back roads. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to demonstrate anything. I don't want the attention. I'm not saying like I'll get attention, and I'm not saying like I'm scared of it. I'm just saying there's something that's just kind of enjoys being with this myself. I don't feel like broadcasting it, making the video real-time enlightenment. I should make a satire of that. And dark comedy used to be my thing when I was acting in LA. I like dark comedy. So I wrote some notes down because I don't want to miss stuff. This is a fun topic about how to this fake spiritual awakening, that we used to. A lot of us have to pass through that stage. Does everybody? Maybe on some level. It's almost like we all have the same curriculum, but some of us go through it faster than others. And then maybe it's like high school, 9th grade, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. Maybe some people, they breeze through 9th, 10th, and 11th, have trouble with 12th grade. And others, they breeze through 9th grade, but had trouble with 10th and 11th grade, and then breeze through 12th grade, like we don't know. But it seems like we all have the same curriculum. This subtle introspection is important. Check yourself and see. It's important. Because it's where the ego's hiding. And if the ego's hiding in there, unchecked, it blocks grace from giving you a more calm, joyful experience. Because we're holding on to stuff that's blocking grace. What are some blocks? So that's one where you're trying to, at home, you just kind of chill, you're natural. But then when you go out, or when you turn the video on, or when you go teach your yoga class, you see, you start doing stuff. Or you demonstrate your laughing yoga. I'm gonna go into my laughing Buddha role now. Or you try to be too serious, too calm. See? Check. It doesn't have to be so obvious either. It's subtle. The way the ego plays is very subtle. Or if you're trying to talk too eloquently about spiritual matters. You've read all the books, you have this compilation of spiritual information, and then you write a book, or you make a video, or you talk to somebody, and they're like, wow, man. And then you get a hit from that. Something's like, yeah, be aware of that if you get a hit. Also be aware of the feeling inside that says, you know what though, you're being kind of fake. Be aware of that. Getting the euphoric hit from attention is more noticeable than the feeling underneath that, which says, you know what though, you don't deserve that, you're not being authentic. Deep, subtle introspection. I love it. I love deep, subtle introspection. And what makes this harder for people to catch out, Andrew Cohen. I was trying to talk about him once and I forgot his name. It just came to me. He had a really good intellectual aptitude when it came to spiritual matters. He wrote a book, something Living Enlightenment, I think it was called. And then he later he realized that he wasn't one with his words. And he declared it. He's like, man, I was not enlightened. But I respected that. I really liked that. How many people do that? Because there's a bunch out there that think they're more self-realized than they are. They just are. But here's the thing. People can't see it. They can't recognize it. And this is what perpetuates it. What do I mean? I'm going to give an example, a funny one first. It's like when I was a kid, you know, as some of you, you're very sensitive. You could read energy very easily. You didn't have to like cultivate or this or go to some energy reading class. You could just see how people were doing. You read the subtext of what they're saying. You weren't listening much to the actual words. You're reading like something else. Like, what are they really saying? We couldn't articulate that when we're young, but we're just sizing them up somehow energetically. I like Emmett Fox, I think. He said, your consciousness is speaking so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. Whether that be positive or negative. Your energy body is so loud, I can't really hear what you're saying. I'm focusing on your vibe. So there's some people who are sensitive to that by nature. You can say we've developed that in previous lives, that carries over, and so it is what it is. It's easy. So it's like when I was young, it would be like if somebody's wearing a red shirt and I call it out. I'm like, you're wearing a red shirt. They're like, what are you talking about, man? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just saying, you're wearing a red shirt. Man, you're stupid. Like, why are you lying? I'm not wearing a red shirt. This is what it's like. How does that relate to what I'm saying? Because, it's like the emperor. The emperor has no clothes. Remember that? I don't remember where that came from, but I like that. I liked that when I heard that as a kid. It's like the kid's innocent. He's not pretending. Everyone else is pretending. Oh yeah, you look really nice, King. And the kid's like, you're not wearing any clothes, man. Like shh, don't do that. Just wear nice clothes. This is what society does. It conditions us to be a puppet like that, you know. So a lot of times the people, they're easily, collective majority, they're easily fooled. All you got to do is contort your face and make a smile somehow, and they'll say, oh wow, this person's really happy, he's really spiritual. They could be someone else. They're super peaceful inside. They're not smiling, it just kind of, might even look serious. And then people will say, the collective will, looks like he's having a hard day. Looks like he's sad. Maybe we should help him. Because they can't read. You can't read energy. This is why Osho liked to play around so much. He liked to shake up the collective populace. They asked him all these questions once. They went down a list of people who were revered by society and said, okay, what do you think? He says, about who? Mother Teresa. She should jump into a lake. What do you think about Yogananda? Paramahansa Yogananda, he wrote the autobiography of a yogi. Come on, man. A real yogi doesn't have an autobiography. Kept doing that. Every person they named to him, he'd tear them down. Why? Shake people up. He didn't mean it. Because people are, the collective are very much tuned on such artificial level. Like I say, they read only words and actions. Oh, this person just held the car door open. This guy held the car door open for this woman. Wow, he's really nice. Yeah, he's trying to get her number and he has some agenda. What about that? You can see that though. You can see that in somebody if they have an agenda. People can't lie to you when you can read energy. Just don't lie to you. How are they going to lie to you? You see through it. Even they don't know what they're doing. Most people don't know their motives, but you know their motives. You don't know exactly, but energetically, you know there's something else there. There's some ulterior motives. That's a gift. It protects you. Women generally have that better than guys. So, how does this all relate to fake spiritual awakening? So, be aware if you're doing anything that's not pure. Fall in love with self-introspection. I always have done introspection. I just like it. I've just liked it. Just why am I, there's this girl, this was years ago. I'd say, okay, there's this girl and I wanted to help her. I feel like I should help her. I feel like I can help her. I'm older than her. I have a little more wisdom, maturity. I want to impart this to her. Oh, she's not interested. Why not? I get frustrated. Why is she interested? I'm trying to help her. No. Then I did the introspection. Why do I care so much? Why am I so obsessed with helping her? Why? Because I liked her. Thought she was pretty. And I liked her energy and her personality, and I wanted to use the helping idea to get closer to her. Maybe I was a little lonely. I want her energy. I like her energy. That's introspection. That's how you catch yourself out. You got to catch all this out, especially those who have any kind of role as a guide or a teacher, yoga teacher, meditation teacher, YouTube speaker. Be aware when you're talking. Are you putting on airs? Are you putting a little English on what you're saying because you're trying to portray a certain role, because you want to appear to be more of something than what people might think? So you want to amp it up? See, be aware of all that, because this is your freedom. It's not about I'm not calling people out to say, oh, look, he's stupid. No, this is a channel. It's about freedom. When you're aware of these subtle things, you're going to grow exponentially. This is why we're talking about it. Okay, do we get everything? Lastly, the vibration. You can tell. I mean, energy, vibration, whatever. When somebody's, when the ego's hijacked some realization you had, and then it's exaggerating it for egoic purposes, it smells. You see, it doesn't have a clean vibration to those who can perceive that. Again, to the collective mainstream, they may think you're great and God and everything else. But those who can read energy, they know. Somehow they're not drawn. You can tell a good teacher by the quality of their students. That's how you know if a teacher's good. Because the higher level students, they're not going to gravitate toward just some talking head. And give respect to grace. Grace, if you do have any kind of awakening, any kind of opening, don't let the ego claim it, because it's going to try to. Be aware of that. It's grace that gave you that gift. Respect and honor and revere grace for giving you that gift. And stay in that gratitude. Otherwise, it can disappear like that. Like boom. It's like, whoa, what happened? What happened to this clear seeing backed with a nice sense of inner serenity? Like, what happened? Were you trying to use it to mac girls? Were you trying to use it to get attention? Were you trying to use it for, selfish motives? Because if we do, then we lose it. And then we got to get it again. Part of the process. Sometimes I think, if Jesus or Buddha, a lot of people that really worship beings who aren't here on this planet anymore, if these beings returned and they had a different costume on, different face, most wouldn't even recognize them. They wouldn't, if Jesus comes back, he's not going to have a Jesus written on his shirt. You probably wouldn't even recognize him unless we can read energy. Because a lot of people, humble spiritual beings, they're not trying to broadcast their message out in to the masses. They're chilling. They're just chill. The average person wouldn't recognize them at all to have any kind of deep realization. They'd probably just dismiss them as being boring or, whatever. You have to have a sufficient level of realization in you to recognize if somebody else has realization. So, that's my message. I was going to say something else, and I can't remember what it was, but I guarantee when I turn this off, I'll remember. It's all good. See you.